to another ranking video. Today I'll be doing a ranking for the View Askew movies. Now, if you don't know what View Askew is, it's basically, six movies directed by Kevin Smith right here. And if you don't know who Kevin Smith is, I feel bad for you. He's a pretty good director. He's made a bunch of different movies, funny movies, mainly comedies. But he's made some different kinds of movies, especially in this series. The View Askewniverse is a series of movies that all take place, in the same world, but they all have different stories going on. It's kind of like Tarantino's movies, where they all supposedly take place in the same world, but, they're all very different. And, and there's a lot of recurring actors in these movies that sometimes they play the same role again, but sometimes they also play a different role. And in some cases, they'll appear in a movie playing both, and I'll get to that later. But, so this is basically six movies, like I said, that take place in the same universe, but they're all very different. So, I thought I'd do a ranking of this, just because, I really like Kevin Smith. I don't own all his movies, though, but I do own all of these View Askew movies, of course. So I figured I'd do a ranking for them, and plus I really do like this series. I think it's great. I hope he does another one eventually. Supposedly there's going to be another Jay and Silent Bob movie, but like a reboot. I don't know. But great series though, and I really do enjoy all these movies. So it was actually kind of difficult ranking these, since they're all really good in my opinion. But anyways, let's start with sixth place is Dogma. Now, Dogma, it's not a bad movie or anything. I've probably seen this one the least. Actually, not probably. I know I've seen this one the least. I've seen this one maybe 2 times. Yeah, I was going to say 3, but I think I've seen this twice, like, from beginning to end. I don't know, it's just, this movie's very different. Like, it's got a lot to do with, like, religion and angels and hell and heaven and all this stuff, and God even makes an appearance. If you've seen the movie, you know what I mean. But, I don't know, this one's just, it's very unique. It's definitely the most unique out of the whole series, I will say that. It's got a lot going on. It's got a very big cast, too. Chris Rock's in it. Selma Hayek, Ben Affleck, Matt Damon. George Carlin's even in the movie. He's right there. I don't know. And you also, in this movie, you get the, Buddy Christ. There's no picture of him. It's the Jesus with the thumbs up. It's kind of a... Oh, there he is. Duh, he's right there. Buddy Christ. That's like the most famous thing from this movie. But this movie is just, I don't know, it's very different. I really should have, like, went and rewatched all these. But I do know, like, for sure that this is my least favorite. It's just, I never feel like watching it. It's not bad or anything. Like, I don't want to give that impression, but just this movie is, I don't know, it's very strange. But Dogma is still entertaining, though. Jay and Silent Bob, of course, are in the movie. They're in all these movies. The one thing that connects them all. Ben Affleck and Matt Damon do a pretty good job. There's one scene in particular, though, that's really good with, there's like a conference meeting, and then Matt Damon shows up in there, and a lot of stuff goes down. But, and there's also a monster right there. If you've seen the movie, you know what that monster is. I'm not going to say much, but that is something. But anyways, Dogma, very unique movie, but my least favorite out of these 6, but not bad or anything. So coming in at 5th place is Clerks 2. Also kind of one of those movies that I don't watch that much, but Clerks 2 was a good sequel. It came out I think 12 years, right, after the first movie, and was in color. Very different. But not bad or anything. Like I said, kind of the same thing as Dogma. I haven't seen this one as many times. I've seen this, more than twice. I've seen it probably like 5 times. But it's just, I don't know. It's very more on the dramatic side. There's a lot of funny stuff going on in here. But this movie does get very dramatic at one point, to where it's like, okay, this is like not the typical fun movie, but that's not a negative, really. It's just, it just really sets it apart from the other movies in terms of, like, a consistency. But yeah, it's still very fun. A lot of funny, memorable parts in it. There's one part where there's even, like, it's like a musical at one point, which is very odd in one of these movies. But Clerks 2, good sequel. Definitely, it's not as good as the first one, for sure. But I don't know. Just Clerks 2 is not really my thing, I guess. I don't know. Not really sure how to explain it, but it wasn't bad or anything. Just out of all 6 of these movies, I had to place it kind of low. All right, so next up is fourth place. Now, these other 4 are like a lot better than these 2, in my opinion. Now, I had a hard time deciding between where this one would go, Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, and also the next placement. I don't know if you can see it yet, but the one I have before this, I had a hard time deciding which one's going to be fourth, which one's going to be third. I had to really think about it. But Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, this movie is really fun. Like, if I had one word to describe this movie, it is pure fun. This is one of those movies that you could just watch anytime, any day, whatever. And if you're in a bad mood or something, this will like put a smile on your face. This movie is like really funny. It's probably the funniest movie in the whole series. Just a lot of great stuff in it. A lot of great cameos. A lot of great sequences. A lot of great, a lot of memorable moments. Just a very fun movie. I'll never forget. One time I was watching this in my friend's house. My friend Rob, who's actually in one of my videos, we reviewed The Last Jedi together, and he's a big fan of these movies too, by the way. He kind of introduced me to Jay and Silent Bob, actually. We were watching this at his house, and there was the scene where Jay is in the movies restaurant or whatever, and he saw, what's her name right there, Justice, and he had a giant, I'll just say erection, and he put the cup over it, and and my friend Rob's mom walked in while we were watching it, and she was just like, "Oh my god!" I'll never forget that. It's just a really fun movie. Oh man, we were dying laughing. But this movie is fantastic. I really do love it. Carrie Fisher has a cameo. George Carlin's got a cameo. Mark Hamill's got a cameo. Just really fun movie, like for real. Fantastic. Not like a grade A cinematic masterpiece or anything, but very fun movie. Now, next up I have Mallrats, and like I said, I had a hard time deciding between, where Mallrats and Jay and Silent Bob would be, which one would be third place, which one would be fourth place. Now, I put Mallrats over Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back because I think Mallrats works better as, like, a movie, with a consistent plot and all that stuff, from beginning to end. Like, Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back is more fun, for sure, but in terms of having a plot structure and all that stuff, it doesn't really, compare to Mallrats. Now, Mallrats is also a very fun movie. Jay and Silent Bob, of course, right there, causing havoc in the mall. And I really do have a thing for movies that take place in, like one specific setting. Like, Mallrats obviously takes place in one mall for most of the movie. And there's a lot of great stuff going on. You got Michael Rooker. You can't see him. There's a giant sticker in the way. Actually, yeah, there he is. Michael Rooker's really funny. That guy's really funny. Oh man, let me think of his name. Ethan Suplee. There you go. That's the actor's name. Trying to see the sailboat. But also, the best part of this movie is really Jason Lee. I think this was like his first major role. I don't know if this was his first movie, but Jason Lee is fantastic in this movie. He plays Brody, and yeah, just a very great character. Really great stuff in here with Stan Lee also. He has a cameo. Probably Stan Lee's first movie role, maybe. I could be wrong. Because this did come out in 1995, I think. So I don't think any of the Marvel movies, the main Marvel movies didn't come out yet. That wasn't until like X-Men came out, Spider-Man, back in like 2000, 2001. So this might have been like Stan Lee's first movie. I don't know for sure. But anyways, yeah, this movie's great. Mallrats is just very fun. It's got a great story, great characters. And also, I got to point out, this extended version of the movie is way too long. I mean, I'm sure you guys might have seen it. If you have, let me know what you think of it. But the theatrical version just flows way better. So if you guys ever get this movie and it says, would you like to watch it theatrical or extended, please watch the theatrical. I mean, the extended has some good stuff in it, some good added scenes, but it just, like, drags on too long. It feels like it's, like, an hour longer or something. Like, I could check right now. What's the runtime? Yeah, regular is an hour 36. Extended is 2 hours and 3 minutes. So that's literally almost half an hour longer. It just I don't know. It does not flow as well. But I gotta say, there's one thing in the extended cut that, like, I died laughing at. It was at the end of the movie. It has to do with Ben Affleck's character. I'm not going to give away what it is, but there is one thing that they added. It's like literally one shot that they added towards the end of the movie. Actually, it might be the last thing in the movie before the credits play, with Ben Affleck's character kind of not doing so well. If you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. But when I saw that, I died laughing. I could not I could not contain myself. Yeah, that's definitely the one plus of the extended cut. I don't know why they didn't include it in the theatrical. Maybe it was a little too extreme. But I won't say what it is. It's just hilarious. One of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life, to be honest. Oh my god. Anyways, that's Mallrats. Great movie. Now we got two left. Now, obviously, when I show you the next one, you're going to know what first place is. But the next one is Clerks. Now, Clerks, this is definitely one of the best independent films ever made because it put Kevin Smith on the map. It was made with, like, I don't know how much money he took, but I heard he, like, maxed out 9 of his parents' credit cards or something to get this movie made. And he actually filmed it in the, you know, the little convenience store gas station thing that he worked at. But Clerks it's kind of an iconic movie. It really is. Black and white. Great dialogue between the characters, Dante and Randall. Just a very fun movie also. Great watch. I don't really have much else to say. Clerks it's kind of a classic. You know, it came out in 1994. Kevin Smith's first movie. Yeah, just very good movie. I mean, don't have much else to say. It's like okay, you know how you always have the first movie in the series is always like the best, like, you know, like Back to the Future, Ghostbusters, whatever. It's like Clerks is like you have to put it really high on the list. Now, in my opinion, it's not the best. I obviously have one more choice here, but it's just like it has that first movie, you know, essence that you can't match in a sequel or, you know, follow up, whatever you want to call it. But just a very solid movie. Very funny. A lot of great stuff in it. Don't have much else to say, though. Clerks, fantastic. Fantastic movie. Alright, now, number 1 is Chasing Amy. Now, you guys are probably saying, well, why would you say Dogma is the least best when it's very different from all the other movies, when this movie is also very different from the other movies? Now, here's the thing about Chasing Amy. In my opinion, this is Kevin Smith's best movie overall. I've seen all his other movies. It's just something about this movie in particular, it has a different thing going on. Like, if you watch all these movies, you'll see that Chasing Amy is incredibly tonally, you know, story-wise, pace-wise, you know, emotional-wise, different. This is like a very personal movie, you can tell. When Kevin Smith made this, he was actually dating this actress. Her name will come to me any minute now. Joey Lauren Adams. There you go. He was actually dating her, and yeah, that pretty much shows through the movie. And if you haven't seen this before, please watch it. It's fantastic. You don't need to watch the other ones to enjoy this. It's pretty much a love story with Ben Affleck and Joey Lauren Adams' character. It's just I don't know, just something about this movie is like, it's on another level. I don't know, it's just fantastic. I really do love this movie. It's really good. Kevin Smith actually kind of doesn't like it, you know, nowadays. He thinks, you know, he's kind of being a little crybaby when he made this movie. But I really don't agree with that. I think he actually did a very good job on this. I don't think this is like coming from a, you know, oh, I'm sad that I broke up with this girl, you know, kind of thing. Because they actually ended up, you know, breaking up or whatever. You know, and Jay and Silent Bob are in the movie. There is still, like, really funny moments in this movie. It's still got, you know, comedy in it. Plenty of comedy. But it's more of a dramatic movie. And like I said, it's very different. But I do like this more. I can just tell when I watch this is the best movie out of the series, because it was made with more care. It was made with more, you know, seriousness. But yeah, it's also got a lot of comedy, like I said. Jay and Silent Bob have an appearance in there. It's only one scene, actually. This is probably the least screen time we've seen from Jay and Silent Bob in one of these movies. But it's an effective scene, actually. And Silent Bob actually plays a bigger part in it than Jay does. But I don't want to say too much if you haven't seen it. Just fantastic, really good movie. Underrated in my opinion. I think people overlook this movie when they talk about Kevin Smith. They always talk about Clerks. They're always talking about, Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back or something else. But Chasing Amy is really his masterpiece. Fantastic movie. Anybody else agree with me on this? I'm sure there's going to be people watching that agree Chasing Amy's the best in the series. But anyways, that's the 6 movies right there, from best to worst. But Dogma is not bad or anything, don't get me wrong. None of these are bad. They're all great. So, where do you rank these movies? Do you agree with my rankings? Do you think I made any mistakes? Yeah, just let me know in the comments below. So, that is the Askewniverse right there. That's Kevin Smith. And I will have some other ranking videos out for you guys in the next 2 days. I'm going to be filming them right now, actually. So, thanks for watching this, and have a good one. Bye-bye.